To attain desired level of productivity in any industry, workers in such industry must be adequately trained and motivated. Having seen it all as an educator and administrator par excellence, Dr. Ganiyu Sopeyin decided to write a book on managing workers. The book, titled Managing Your Workers: Roadmap to a Committed Workforce in the Education Industry, was recently launched at the Moremi Hall of Sheraton Hotel, Ikeja.
It's a sort of contribution, to academics, to the growth of human resource, in Nigeria as a whole, particularly within the education industry. Human resource is perhaps the main key, to development, organizational development. And so we cannot afford to continue to live in the past. We have to think of a way to move the system forward. And that is why I have taken the pain to go into, writing this book. And I believe if you go into the contents of the book, you'll find it worthwhile.
The book was reviewed by Mr. Olawale Cole, and he averred that the effective management of workforce would help build and sustain dedicated and productive personnel in the state public service.
If you read a book that is being launched today, and when you get them, you see a lot of strategies that can be applied in managing your workers. Because it's very key what you do about your workers and also about people that you manage. If you manage them very well, you will stand a better chance to get the best out of them. And of course, that will lead to increase the productivity of your factory or performance of the people if they are not in the factory setup.
Dignitaries present lauded the initiative and enjoined all to read and apply the principles in the book.
Today I'm revealing that Dr. Ganiyu Sopeyin has been behind those skills that have been put into use. I also want to join others in commending the book for all of us to buy and read, and also give it to our neighbors, our friends, our students, for them to be well guided in their endeavor.
I appreciate you. When you were in Sopeyin, we appreciated you. What you left there, it's still being built upon. And right now with this book, I appreciate you the more. I've always known you to be a very intelligent person. And with this book, that's just it.
By the power conferred on me as today's chief launcher, I hereby unveil this book for the benefit of mankind and to the glory of God.
If you want to have a very strong workforce, you must be able to harness the individual potential of every staff that works with you. And it's only when you succeed at doing this that you'll be able to make sure that every person works towards achieving the organizational goal of the establishment. The book has done a lot of justice to this.
The key for me is the employer's leadership style. The way you carry on will determine the way your staff will be motivated, and if you have a staff that is not motivated, it's going to affect production. You have to get a copy of the book to read and then understand in details what is expected, because he has given all the nitty-gritty. He went to great extent in explaining very good details, suggestions and all the strategies.
Public servants were taxed on hard work and innovation to actualize government policies which will make life better for all citizens.